this thing on? What's going on, YouTube? So today in this video, I'm gonna be doing a 1.5 with the grain low ball fade. He had kind of a little mini afro. I wouldn't say that it is a transformation, but it's somewhat kind of, I don't know. So funny story is, the kid, I was like, hey, do you mind if I do a YouTube video on you? And he was like, yeah, sure. So let me remind you, I was like, hey, don't you got school today or something? Because it's his first day of school, yo. And he was like, yeah, but I'm running a little late because I'm trying to get a haircut. I was like, okay. But so I was like, in my head, I was like, should I even do a YouTube video on him? Because he's gonna be really late to school. And I'm like, so anyways, the cut came out clean, and hope you guys enjoy this video, y'all. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So I'm picking out his hair, and the reason for that is I want it all to get to his regular length. So basically, I'm picking out the hair so everything won't be as curly, so then when I cut it down, it won't get tangled into my guards or clippers. So I'm gonna be taking down the hair with a 1.5 guard on my Wall Seniors. He said he wanted a wavelength, so basically what I'm doing is I am going on the sides only just to check to see what the 1.5 guard would do, and so far it's doing what I wanted to do. So with the 1.5 guard, I'm gonna go around the entire head. I'm going with the grain. So basically what with the grain is you're going with the hair pattern, so that way it cuts it. It doesn't cut it all the way low, but it gets it to where it cuts low, but it just goes with the hair pattern. And it's best to go with the grain, especially with coarse hair, so that way everything's laid down perfectly. So now that the hair is laid down and cut, I'm going to be doing my ball line. I'm doing the low fade, so I'm going to start above the ear and kind of drop it low towards the occipital bone. Make sure that the ball line is straight. You don't have to make it straight, but I like doing this. Basically what it is that if the ball line is straight, then your guidelines would be straight, and then your fade would be straight. So make sure that the ball line is straight. So right here I have my one guard, and I'm not necessarily making a guideline, I'm just taking off some bulk on the sides, so that way when I do make my guidelines, it'll just be nice and neat. I usually do use a 1.5 to take down bulk, but his hair is already short on top, so the 1.5 wouldn't really do much. So that's the reason why I'm using a one guard, if you guys were wondering. So that, because his hair is short on top, so that's the reason why I am using that one guard. So, but if you guys ever do use this technique, just make sure that it is nice and straight. So for this part, I have an open lever, and I'm going to be making my first guideline about 1/2 inch. And as you can see, that when I do make this guideline, another guideline appears, you know, because you know how after I always do this guideline, I always go to my one open and make that other guideline. So that way it just cuts down time, and also it just looks, you know, kind of clean. As the time goes on, you'll see that this guideline would, you know, make sense. But make sure that the guideline is straight, and y'all should be good. So now that my guidelines are set, I'm going to be using my zero guard to take out that line. I'm going to be using my open lever, and let me remind you guys that I am using the corners. I'm using the corners a lot, so I'm just flicking out with an open lever on my zero guard, and I eventually go halfway and I just flick out some more, taking out some more dark spots, and then I go close and take out the other dark spots. So you do play with the levers a lot, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below, and look, I'll be happy to answer all of you guys' questions. I am here to help, so just make sure you guys follow these steps. If you guys have any questions, let me know. So to take out that bottom line, I'm going to be using a no guard, close lever. Make sure that you guys flick out and use the corners a lot. And also you guys play with the levers a lot, because when you play with your levers, you can create if you want it blurry or not, you know. So I do advise you guys to play with the levers a lot. Try not to go too high on a low fade, because I've done that before and it sucks, you know. So make sure you guys keep that, follow your guidelines, and y'all should be good, yo. So to take out that dark spot right above, I'm gonna be using a 1.5, and I did use a 1.5 on top to, you know, cut the hair down. So that way, when I do a 1.5, it's not really gonna make any difference. It's still gonna keep it dark. I am using the corners a lot. I'm not really trying to dig into it, so I'm just flicking out to blend it into the top of the hair. And you can see that right in kind of right there, there's a dark spot. So it's going to be hard for me to take it out with this guard, because the guard is not catching the hair the way I want it to. So in the next clip, I'm going to be going over with a one guard and how you flick out and how you can improvise with any guard to take out any dark spots. So I'm going to be using a one guard to take out that dark spot. The reason for that is, you guys know that I used a 1.5 guard to take out the dark spot above it, and it didn't take it out. So I'm going to be using the one guard, a guard below it, just to lighten it up, and I'm using the corners just to lighten that sucker up. And it's gone, y'all. You see, it's that simple. It's, you know, no need to worry. I got y'all. Just use that one guard and y'all should be good. So to start my lineup, I start from the middle and I work my way to the sides. The reason why I start in the middle is because if you start from the side and you go to the other side, it might not be straight and it might be lopsided or whatnot. So that's the reason why I start in the middle. If some of y'all don't know and y'all are new to this channel and the first time watching my YouTube, I always start from the middle and then I go from the side and then I go from the other side. So that way it'll all meet in the middle and it'll just be straight.